Good morning, great lions. How are you doing, children? I hope you're doing well. I am so excited about this week. We're going to have another good week of learning, another good week of instruction, another good week of having fun in class. I've dropped into a lot of your classes and I see your teachers teaching you some awesome lessons. So it's really important that you're paying attention, that you're participating, and that, as I always say, you're completing all of your work. I did notice a couple of things happening last week, children, that I want you to make a correction on. Do not call students in other classes. Don't open up other chats. That's very bad, very bad. That's distracting. All of your attention should be in the class and have fun in your learning because everyone at the Great Kirk should read and write with proficiency and do math with proficiency. Well, students, this Wednesday, there is a very special holiday coming up. It's called Veterans Day, and we won't have any school on that day. So I want you to listen to this little video to teach you a little bit about Veterans Day. Make sure you're listening because your teachers might ask you some questions.
My name is Broadcast Cal, and today we're going to learn about Veterans Day. Veterans Day is always celebrated on November 11th, and I'll tell you why in just a bit. First, I need to tell you what a veteran is. A veteran is someone who has served in the military, also known as the armed forces. At Veterans Day, it's a day where we honor those who have served in the military. Did you know that the military has 5 parts, also known as branches? The Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Coast Guard. Together, they all serve to defend our freedom. Kind of a big deal. Respect. So if you meet a veteran, ask them what branch they served in, and then tell them they're awesome. The reason we celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th is that is the day that World War I ended in 1918 at 11 o'clock on the 11th day in the 11th month. An armistice was signed to end the war. An armistice is an agreement between 2 opposing sides that ends a war. Everyone was so glad that the war was over that the next year, 1919, 100 years ago today, the U.S. declared November 11th as Armistice Day to celebrate the ending of the war. It was called Armistice Day every year until 1954, when President Dwight D. Eisenhower changed it from Armistice Day to Veterans Day because he wanted to honor all service members, past and present. And that is why we celebrate Veterans Day, to honor all service members who have served for our country to defend our freedom. Pretty cool. And that's your lesson on this day in kid history. Broadcast Cal out.
Did you learn a little something about Veterans Day? The 11th month, 11th day, 11th hour, that's when World War I was ended. And we celebrate all of our service people. In fact, as your teacher, they might have served in the military or they might have family that have served in the military. The next thing I want to bring to your attention is that you can make it. You matter. And if you just keep trying your best, you're going to be very successful. I want you to listen to a young man by the name of Derek No, and he is going to tell you a little bit about himself and what he had to overcome in order to be successful. Listen to his story, and then I'll be back with the names of fame.
I am Derek Nyo, and I attend Energy Institute High School. So I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 2001. I had 3 half-siblings. Shortly after that, my parents separated and we moved to Houston. And a lot of my life has been my mother raising me and my siblings. until I was around the age of 7. We did have a house, and my mother had like a stable job, but unfortunately she started gambling. Around when I was 8, she was arrested for the first time in one of the casinos because she left me and my siblings inside a car unattended in the casino parking garage. And we moved around a lot. So I ended up attending 12 different schools from kindergarten to now. So from the age of 8 to 9 to growing up, she has pretty much been absent from our life. She would be in jail, she'd be at the casino, and school fed us more than my own mother did. During the weekends, we would pretty much just share, peanut butter or bread because those were pretty cheap. But just having that hunger constantly bothering you, you can't focus, you can't study, you can't do homework because you're so hungry and you have no idea like where you're gonna eat from. So now I live on my own. Since my mother is still a criminal and she has multiple warrants of arrest, she sends whatever she can to me to support me financially. There were 2 caring individuals who inspired me to succeed. So the first one was my 7th grade math teacher, Mr. Johnson. He was an amazing teacher. He taught me math, but he inspired me to learn. That's the most important thing. The second individual was Manuel Figueroa. He, at the time, was a family friend. He was poor, he was at risk, but he still managed to perform well in school, and he ended up going to Dartmouth on a full ride. So that was an inspiration for me. Since I'm valedictorian of my class, I have beat the odds against all these challenges and obstacles. You can't mess around, you can't waste your time, and that's where a lot of my discipline comes from. So having that goal is important. Having that discipline to reach your goal is even more important. There were times when I thought about giving up, but what's the point of that, right? When you could be 1 out of a million instead of being 1 in a million. My name is Derek Nyo, and I beat the odds.
Okay, it's time for the names of fame. And this week, the special prize will be a Carl's Jr. gift card. And you can start picking up those gift cards on Thursday at 11 o'clock and also Friday at 11 o'clock. You can start sending your parents to pick up those gift cards. Once again, Thursday and Friday at 11 o'clock and after, you can have your parents come pick up those cards. Remember that the office closes at 2 o'clock. All right, let's hear the names. Ms. Konufsky's class, Ryan Coey. Ms. Chavez, Josiah Maravilla. Mrs. Moore, TKK, Amari Kelly. Mrs. Moore, Damian Castellanos. Mrs. Williams, Marissa Negrete, and Victoria Cruz Isabella. Mr. Comier, Guevara, and then Matisse Anthony C. In Mrs. Eunice's class, Daniel Leon, Miss Reyes, Josiah Mack, Mrs. Rogers, Catherine Lopez, and Mrs. Matkins, America Mora. In Mrs. Merchant, we have Kimberly Perez. In Mr. Minima, we have Mia Jaramillo and Maravilla, and then Sanchez. Mr. Zepeda, we have Nicole Pacheco Vasquez, And then Miss Scholes, we have Alexander Soto. Woo! You all are the names of fame this week. Make sure you come and pick up your gift card to Carl's Jr. on Thursday and Friday from 11 o'clock until 2 o'clock. That's when it's available. I'm going to turn you over to your teachers now to do the Lions chant or to repeat the Lions chant. Remember, we are lions. That means we are leaders, independent thinkers, and critical thinkers. Outstanding character. We never give up, and we serve our community. All right, children, have a wonderful week. And remember, roar like a lion.